Hi, I'm Elizabeth Kirby, counselor in the Counseling and Advising Office here at Montgomery College. Today we're going to be talking about time management. Why? I struggle with time management. I'm sure you do too. So today we're going to be talking about some strategies to help us manage our time more effectively. Today our information is going to be coming from Skip Downing's On Course book. So there are some things I just like to review about time. 1, time moves forward. 2, we can't add any more hours in our day. I wish we could, but unfortunately we can't. So what are some strategies to help us manage our time? So the first thing I want you to do is to get out a weekly schedule or a weekly calendar, put it out there, and I want you to mark down some of your personal responsibilities. So the first one, put down your work schedule, okay? A typical work schedule for the week. And then I want you to add your class schedule. If you go to the gym or have an exercise program, go ahead and put that on there. Do you have volunteer work? Any other responsibilities, go ahead and put it on that weekly calendar. So you're looking at it and thinking, well, I have lots of time in my schedule. We're not done yet. So what I want you to do is to put 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night onto that schedule. Like, Elizabeth, that's a lot of sleeping. Yes, you need 6 to 8 hours. Why? Well, this helps with your long-term memory. So during the day, as you're going to class and learning things, you're putting everything into your short-term memory bank. At the very end of your sleep cycle, that's where you're putting all this stuff into your long-term memory. So all that short-term stuff goes into that long-term at the end of your sleep cycle. 6 to 8 hours. That's what you need to have down there. So make sure your sleep cycle gets on there. What else do we need to add? Transportation. Some of us, it takes 5 minutes to get here. Some of us, it takes us 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. We need to have that in our schedule. Do we need to take in consideration bus? Do we have the bus schedule? Are we metroing in? Are we relying on friends on their schedule? Or are we fighting 270 every day? So transportation time goes in there. Then I want to also you to put in there your free time. Do you hang out? Do you like to go to Starbucks? Do you like to go into the city? Whatever it is, put your free time activities down in there. So now our schedule is kind of filling up and you're thinking, oh, I'm done. No, you're not. What we need to do is add our studying time. So for this, I have the chart. For every hour you spend in class, you need to spend at least 2 hours on homework. Like, oh, I've got this, 2 hours, that's no problem. Okay, what that really means 2 hours of homework is you're going to be doing all of your studying, you can do all your readings, you're going to be doing extra problems if you need help on extra problems, like for math class. You're going to be going to the tutoring center. Do you need help with a writing assignment? So it's all those extra activities besides just reviewing your notes. So for a 1 credit class, you're going to spend 3 hours a week dedicated to Montgomery College. So let's look at our chart. So if you're taking 12 credits, which is minimum to be full-time for credit load here at MC, you're going to be spending 36 hours a week dedicated to your academics in Montgomery College. So 36 hours, that's quite a chunk of change, right? That's equivalent to a full-time job. So can we get all those hours of academic work into your schedule? While we're talking about workload, let's look at this other chart I have with realistic workload. Talking about realistic workload, is there enough hours in the day to be going to work and going to school? And remember, on top of that school, we're going to be doing studying and reading and all that. Do we have enough time in the week? Because remember, we cannot add more hours to our week. So what we're going to be looking at is if you're working 40 hours a week, I recommend that you only take 1 to 3 credits a semester. Because if you're going to work 40 hours a week, you're not going to have a lot of time for studying, reading your homework, and all that stuff. So 1 to 3 credits. If you're working 10 to 20 hours a week, then we recommend taking 10 to 13 credits. So if you say, Elizabeth, I have to work full time, well then you're only going to be taking 1 to 3 credits. If you say, I can work part-time, but I have to go to school full-time. So remember, 12 hours is the credit load you have to go to school full-time. Think about only working 20 hours or less. But please keep in mind when you're looking at your work schedule that you're keeping in mind your other activities, your volunteer work, your other personal responsibilities, because those are things that are going to take away from your studying time. So again, we're going to look at the whole picture here, okay, when we're looking at a realistic workload. All right, so we're going to be examining our time, because some of us, we look at our plate and it's so heavy, I don't know what to do. Or some of us were looking at our plate like, Elizabeth, it's really light, but I'm still struggling with my time. All right, so we're going to examine our time. So there are 3 ways I don't want you spending your time. The first one is I don't want you doing stuff under pressure. What does that mean? If you feel like you're always putting things out, you're cramming for tests, you're feeling stressed, you're always doing stuff right on the deadline, you procrastinate, you're doing stuff at the last second, you're studying for the night before for that test, you're doing that final project the day before it's due, or God forbid, that morning of. Let's not do that, please. So that's what I mean by doing stuff under pressure. Students who work this way are typically unsuccessful. Another way I don't want you spending your time is by doing unimportant activities with a sense of urgency. Okay, again, what does this mean? So as you're busy studying or reading a textbook and you're getting interruptions from your social media notifications or from text messages. For example, I might get a text message from my sister about a dress she got on sale. Okay, that's unimportant, but I'm meeting it with a sense of urgency. I'm stopping my valuable study time for this interruption of this text message. That's unimportant. So students who are always like getting interrupted like this, you're not spending that quality time studying, and these students are unlikely to be successful. Another thing I want you to look at, if you're doing stuff that's unimportant and with a lack of urgency, there are time wasters. And what are time wasters? These are things like have you ever found yourself on the internet looking up stuff or on social media for several hours? These are time wasters. If you find yourself binging a show on Netflix or Prime or whatever outlet that you view your movies or TV shows on, if you're on your 3rd or 4th one, time waster. Some people get caught up in gaming. Again, there are time wasters. Now, are you allowed to watch a few episodes of a show that you like or go on social media? Yes, for a limited amount of time. If not, they become time wasters. Okay? This is not how we want to spend our time. If you're constantly spending all your time on these time wasters, you're going to be unlikely to be successful at school. All right, so I said all the ways that you shouldn't be spending your time. How should you be spending your time? What I want you to do is to be doing important things with a sense of non-urgency. I'm not saying studying for a test isn't important. I'm saying it's very important, but I want it done under non-urgency. Okay, again, what the heck does this mean? So what that means is we're going to plan out our studying time. So throughout the semester, we're going to be constantly reviewing our notes and doing the readings and keeping up on those tasks. But when we have our comprehensive exam that we know is coming up, I'm going to allow 2 weeks beforehand to have some intensive studying for that comprehensive exam. So that way I'm not surprised the night before, like, oh, I got to start studying for this comprehensive exam. I have planned it out. I'm going to be more likely to be successful at that exam than someone who's cramming the night before. Because I planned out this, I'm going to be less stressed. I'm going to be more likely to look at opportunities to be successful. So again, plan out those times in your schedule, embed those times into your, just like you have your class schedule and your work schedule, have those studying times in there. So that way you can be flexible if a life event happens. And also you won't be surprised like, I have to have time to study. You're going to have that study time built in and be organized. Now, is Montgomery College a priority for you? What I really want you to do is reflect back, look at your schedule. Are the choices you're making in your calendar, are they a priority for your academic career? If yes, then you're on the right track. If you're looking at your calendar like, oh, some of these things I'm doing, a lot of the things I'm doing aren't going towards my academic goal, this will be a great opportunity to talk to your counselor in counseling and advising. If you have any more questions, please feel free to contact a counselor in counseling and advising or take an STSU course.